admit this to you before, but it's days like today that I just hate my job.
That's why I work so hard at being a self-centered jerk. So I don't feel like crap when something bad happens to a decent person.
Plural. This is going to affect a lot of people.
Can't imagine what Lucky's feeling right now. His new wife almost dies on the table, and then he finds out his ex-wife is the one to blame. It's a bad day.
Elizabeth is going to be devastated.
Did she seem nervous when you talked to her?
Well, I told her that the hospital is going to be investigating the sudden drop in pressure. She didn't seem alarmed or guilty or anything.
So she's gonna be blindsided.
Like, she's not dealing with enough. You know, I know what that's like. I know how to survive a tragedy. I've got that brave carrying on thing down pat. I mean, but sometimes that's just a speech, you know? Sometimes you're trying to convince yourself as well as everyone else that you can manage your loss. And that's exactly what Elizabeth has been doing. And I could see that. You know, I should have said something.
Well, I'm the one that thought Elizabeth should be back in the OR. You said she wasn't. I didn't listen. I'm the one that put this whole thing into motion, and I'm one of the ones that helped prove that she was guilty of screwing up.
Well, I am not shy about expressing my opinion, especially when it comes to disagreeing with you. But I could have gone through the proper channels. I could have written a memo saying that Elizabeth wasn't ready to go back to the OR. But I didn't. I caved because I didn't want to be judgmental and because I wanted to be a good friend. And now Elizabeth is worse off than she was before.
And this is why we're supposed to stay detached. So we can make good, clear decisions.
Well, I think it's safe to say both of us get an F in detachment.
What do you...
Can I ask you something?
Of course. We're supposed to be working on your communication skills.
Well, it's not really about our marriage. It's more work-related. Or maybe not.
Well, now you got me curious. Shoot.
Are you ever going to bring Jake's file down to the records room?
Yes. I will.
But what?
But I like looking at it. Like's not the right word. I feel obligated. I go over the readings and I go over the scans and I try and figure out where I went wrong, where I could have got in front of the trauma, where I could have noticed that hemorrhage before it happened.
But you couldn't.
I'm not. This isn't about feeding my guilt, Robin. I'm just trying to make sure that when it happens again, I make the right decision and I do better.
But I've seen you lose patients before. Not that many because we're really good.
Well, not good enough.
But you go over the records, you file them away, and you move on. Why can't you do that with Jake?
I just told you what I'm looking for.
A mistake. Some way you could have saved him, I know.
Well, I haven't found it yet.
Because there isn't one. I mean, I was there. It's a miracle that Jake stayed alive as long as he did. I mean, has it ever occurred to you that when you looked at those records to see that you saved his life 3 times before that hemorrhage? I mean, any one of those injuries could have killed him before that.
And that's exactly what I'm looking for. Maybe I put too much emphasis on the wrong thing first, and I should have done something different.
No, listen to me. I'm telling you the truth, not because I love you, but because it is a medical fact. There's no surgeon that could have saved Jake.
What about my father?
Oh, come on. What are you talking about? One of the first things you said to me ever was that you were better than your dad.
Well, I was just trying to impress you. That was all bravado crap.
Yeah, but then I got to know you and I realized that it wasn't. You're one of the only people that I know that are so in love with their own brilliance but can actually back it up. So why are you wasting time and energy comparing yourself to your father?
I know I'm better than my father now. I don't know if I'm as good as he was when he was at his best.
Well, there's no way to measure that.
Look, I've heard all the stories about my dad. More times than I probably cared. And I'm not just talking about when things went bad. When he was good, he was fast. He had intuition. He would find things that weren't even on the scans. He would fix things before they happened.
Noah Drake, the psychic surgeon. Sorry, I don't buy it.
Listen, you know what I'm talking about. When you go in there, you got to work fast. There's no room for error. You can't be looking over your shoulder at the scans. You got to trust your intuition, and you got to be fearless.
So, is that what's bothering you? Are you thinking you might get another patient like Jake and be scared?